Hello everyone and welcome back to Eltriancraft. I have been very busy in between episodes. We have completed the pathways. The pathways are completely done. We have this one all on this side, one over to the smelter, and one over to the cactus farm. So the base is very, very nearly finished. By the way, I completed those pathways on a live stream over on Twitch. If you are interested when I stream occasionally, you can follow me over on Twitch. And I am uploading the VOD on a second channel, so that will also be down in the description. But for today, I accidentally broke a piece of string. No. I want to do some cleanup and some finishing off of some projects today. So, down here, during the live stream, I also created a brand new friend, a little snow golem there, so I could have snow, because I needed snow blocks to complete the pathways, to make everything look nice. So, I want to finish off this room, so continue the wall here, probably do another archway. I'll figure something out. So we are going to very quickly get this guy a little more decorated. Okay, that is all done. Nice, quick, and easy, and looking good. So we can come down here anytime we need snow, and I put a fortune shovel down here. It doesn't need to be fortune, it just needs to not have silk touch on it. So let's clear up our inventory, and then I have another project, a small little project for today. Okay, so the next project for today is actually inside the main base here. I am finally going to finish it off and do the third level here. I have come up with an idea that will actually work for up here. Now that everything is finished on the exterior pretty much, I want to map it out. And I need to replace that with snow. Yeah, so this is basically what it's going to look like. But yeah, I'm going to create a map and map it out and put it in here. But unfortunately, we are going to have to destroy Ren's amazing prank here first. So let's get on with that. Okay, that is all cleared up. I don't want to do the interior of that room yet because I don't know how big this map is going to be. I have no idea like where all of this ends up on it, but okay. So that has some of that. That's a interesting color, that is the copper there. All right, this gets the smelter in. This is going to be like really confusing, I think. So all right, we need towards this way, right? Actually, this way. Complete some stuff here. Yep, complete that. And this might actually take a while, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, so here's what I have. I don't need this row. I'm not going to do a whole 3x3. The only problem with this is that it's a 2-block center. But that's how it fits on here. Yeah, I had to do this map just to even it out because this has a tiny sliver of the sugarcane farm there. The other thing that's a little annoying is that you can barely see the nether portal because it white roof. I could change it into something else. I just don't know what. I'll think about it. But anyway, thinking about this now, it seems kind of crazy just to have a whole room dedicated to this little map here. So I have an idea. My idea is to also map out the Shire here. So, you know, we can have a little fragment of where I used to have my base. So this is going to get a little confusing, I think. So here we need one. Yeah. This is why I never do maps. It is overly confusing, I think. So where is all of this? Okay, that's that, right? So I think I need one on this side here. Maybe not, but Okay, I definitely need one. Yeah. Over here. Will this get the bee farm as well? Oh, what are these? Okay. Oh, that's that. Okay. Is this one? Yes, this is where I am. Okay, and I need to clear out this. Clear over here. And do I have one where I get the... No, that's the bee farm, right? Yeah, okay. So do I have this completed? Do I have the bridge over there? No? Maps are way too confusing. Do I have one that gets... Oh, yeah, right here. I think this works. Let me put this out and see how... Okay, so here's all that I had to do to get all of this in. The problem, I have a lot of this open space here because right on this one, yep, you can see it cuts it off slightly, and you can barely tell. So I don't know if I'm gonna, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna include that at all. You know, if I take all this out and just do these three, you know, it looks a little incomplete. But, oh no, I don't know what order these are in now. Well, that one's right. That one's wrong. Yep, that's right. Okay, and take these out because I don't want to include Coda's trees over here too. It'd be a little weird. But yeah, that will work, I think. I think that will work very well. Now, yep, all these are gonna get out of order. That's fine. I'll figure it out. Okay, I got all the maps and moved them up here. I also grabbed some maps of the shopping district to fill this out a bit more, but I'm going to try and figure out how I want to display these exactly and see what I come up with. I have to figure out actually how all of these were done, right? We'll figure it out and see what I come up with. Okay, I have put the maps in, so if you come up here, yeah, I think that's looking pretty well. We got the Shire here with the gold. Current base, ice base with the iron, and shopping district with the diamonds. And I think that looks decently well. Yeah, a little bit of an empty room still, but you know, maybe try and figure out something to add here. But I think that's looking pretty well, and it does finally give this room a use other than just a prank sitting here or just an empty room. So yeah, we have a little map room here, and I think that works pretty well. Okay, I've added a few decorations here, some cartography tables around, and then this little table here with a map of a village, compass, spyglass to look at it, and then another map and a stick right there. I think this fills out the room pretty nicely, and I think I'm finished with that. So, I think technically, the base is finished. I'm pretty sure that you could technically say that this base is finished. So that is a very, very good feeling. Of course, there's definitely a world where I think of something else to add in, and that is all right. But for right now, this is a good completion point if I don't decide to add anything else in. All right, so our next project for today takes us into the nether because Mr. Wren has had a wonderful idea to improve our nether hub a bit. You can see he has done quite a bit of work here around his portal. So he is basically terraforming the nether roof around his portal, and Cerberus is doing a little over there too. So we're going to do that around ours. Not a whole lot. You know, this is a lot. So we're going to do a little bit over here. He has the whole pale moss thing going on. So I will do snow because that fits around my base. Now, the one thing we do have to keep in mind is mob spawning. But I think if we do too high snow layers, that stops them. I'm going to check the wiki on that. but I'm pretty sure no mobs can spawn if there's like 2 to 7 snow layers on it, so we can do a little variation and have a bit of a path going with something, and then we'll do like some ice spikes. I don't think mobs can actually spawn on packed ice, and then I'll think of something for the pathway, but I'm gonna collect a bunch of snow and kind of make a general outline for how big I want this thing to be. Okay, I now have quite a bit of snow, as you can see in my inventory and in the shulker boxes, and I have made a bit of an outline. I think this is a good shape, and it's not too big, but it's not tiny either. So we're going to fill this in completely. We're obviously, it's not going to be flat. We're going to have some small hills and dips and whatever like Ren has over here. And then we will go on to adding the details. I'm going to add some ice spikes in here, and I might do like a little igloo and maybe one other small build. But first things first, I'm going to get all of the terrain done. Okay, the terrain is done for the most part. This took way more snow than I was actually expecting it to. I had to resupply like 2 or 3 times, but we got it done. I have torn through my shovel getting snow layers. Yeah, but it's looking pretty decent. Very plain right now, obviously, but we are going to add some detail now. Ice spikes is definitely a big one, and that I should have plenty of from all of the ice spikes I have torn down for the buildings here, so I won't need to gather any more of that. And then I think I want to add an igloo. So the snow that I have, that's the wrong chest. Oh yeah, we got plenty of ice in here. That should be more than enough. Let me put it in no, I have shulkers there. Anyway, I'm going to need a way to stop spawning as well on the ice spikes. I don't know if mobs actually spawn on ice, though. That's another thing I need to look up. Oh, wrong button. Okay, I need to look up if mobs spawn on packed ice, and if they do, I'm going to need a way to prevent spawning. Light blue carpet should be fine for that. But anyway, I'm going to pick some spots for this, and we will get on with that. By the way, you should have, before this clip, you should have seen a replay of me making the terrain here. Hopefully, or a time-lapse, I guess. I have changed from replay mod to flashback. I'm trying out flashback, so hopefully I can figure out how to use it properly, and you just saw a time-lapse. But anyway, if I do get to work, here's another time-lapse. Okay, this is looking pretty cool with all the ice spikes in here, and I had a little igloo. It's not decorated, but I think it adds a bit to the area and all of the ice spikes. There are a couple of blank areas, and I didn't really, didn't fill this out like a normal ice spikes biome would be. There'd be a lot more spikes in here, but I think this is looking pretty decent just to add bit of detail around filled out, and it's looking pretty good. Now the last thing to do is I'm just going to go around and do some variation to the snow layers here, just so it's not all the same, you know, on 2 layers. So we'll, you know, we'll have some 3, 4, maybe even go up all the way to 7, but you know, like around the ice spikes and here, and definitely like around the edges. It'll look a lot better to have it a bit more filled out like this, you see. And then, you know, random spots around, little piles, I think will add a whole lot more to this little area, certainly. So I'll just go around randomly placing all of that in. It is all done, and it is looking a whole lot better. Just adding those snow layers in makes a huge difference. It made it look so much more natural and, yeah, actually realistic, I think. So, yeah, I think we are pretty much done with this. It is dark, but that's just, side effect of the nether. There's not really a good way to light this up that would look good, but I think that other than that, it is looking very, very nice. I'm very pleased with this. Well, guys, with that all done, I think it is a pretty good spot to end this episode. We have made a ton of progress between the paths and the map room, and then just finishing up in the nether there. We are pretty much done. I don't really have any other projects lined up. Hopefully I can come up with something before the season ends, which is coming up, by the way. But hopefully we can get another episode or 2 out before the finale. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!